Hi, everybody. Good to see you all. And it's time for NXT. We're already getting started. A little bit of a recap from NXT Homecoming last week. Good to see you guys here. A little Joe Hendry action, a little Bobby Roode, a little Sami Zayn calling out Javon Evans. Well, not calling out Javon Evans, but respecting Javon Evans. All this, all that. And we are here live. Actually, let me get all the way live. Little Finn Balor, Trick Williams. So tonight is a big show. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of buzz around a title for title match. We're getting the NXT title versus the TNA title right here tonight. Trick Williams versus Oba Femi. So we'll see what happens. It was announced, of course, as we're seeing last week during the Grayson Waller effect. Kind of underwhelming announcement, but exciting matchup. So we're here. How is everybody tonight? You guys ready for the big show? We're also not for nothing. We're getting, I believe, another Myles Borne Lexis King match, a lights out match, whatever that is. Also getting the finals of the Speed number 1 contender tournament for the women, Candice Lerae, versus Lainey Reid. Winner will go on to No Mercy this weekend to take on Sol Ruca. So we will see where that brings us. And I will get here. Let's see. All right, Trick Williams is here. There's appears to be already TNA. Oh, well, they're previewing it already. There's already TNA talent lurking around in the background. I'm very suspicious of us getting a no contest, obviously, with TNA interrupting the show. But we'll see what comes of it. Absolutely. Lexis King on his way out as we start the show tonight. If things look a little different, I know usually you guys see me look off to the side, usually when I'm doing things. Couple things. One, this is obviously not like my job. So I was working my other job. Lexis King's entrance. Forget my explanation. Lexis King's entrance interrupted by Myles Borne, and the lights are out in the arena with just one spotlight. So we're just going right to it. Okay. That's something different. Good to see everybody, by the way, as this match starts. Tyrell Breed, Sophie Dophie, good to see you. Dulcie, good to see you as well. George, as always, good to see you too. Zach, I see you there. Angela, I see you as well. Should be fun. All right, let's see. All right, here we are. I'll probably give some WrestlePalooza thoughts during the commercial breaks or during the picture-in-pictures tonight, as I wasn't there with you guys, so we'll be fine. More on that later. Myles Borne with the baby Randy dropkick there. Yeah, so anyway, normally you see me when I'm streaming looking off to the side. That's usually where my screen is, but I've made a slight change tonight, much like I did for SmackDown last week, and it's a little bit different for me. So I'm still getting used to the setup, although this is probably a little more ideal. Lexis King with a clothesline to the back of the head while Myles Borne was sort of draped over a chair. Yeah, Lexis does kind of have a sort of dude love / Stevie Richards kind of hybrid look here with the midriff shirt and jeans and the tie-dye midriff here. Man, Lexis cracking Myles over the back with that chair. King's jeans are way too tight, by the way. They look like denim tights. They're so tight. That's crazy. Man, vertical suplex onto the onto the chair. I think Lola's going over this weekend, George. I think you're right. Absolutely think she's gonna. Absolutely think she will too. Yeah, let's not forget that Ricky Saints is the number one contender to the NXT title. So whoever wins tonight or whoever is NXT champion tonight will face Ricky Saints this weekend for that title at No Mercy as well. Oh, geez. I tell you what, man, Lexis King is laying these shots in. He's bending that trash can 6 ways from Sunday on top of Myles Borne. Okay. All right, guys. Let me know. Are you guys in commercial or are you in picture in picture? Okay. Yeah. So when it comes to WrestlePalooza, yeah, let's talk about that first, shall we? Um, I thought WrestlePalooza was fine. I thought it was a fine show. Let me um let me at least say this. I thought the Stephanie Vaquera Io Sky match was fantastic. Um, worthy of the whole show. Um, and anybody hating it, I think there's a real problem. Hey Anthony, good to see you, man. And me Mercedes, also good to see you as well. By the way, me Mercedes, right now we're having a lights out match between Myles Borne and Lexis King. We also have Candice Lerae and Lainey Reid tonight as well. I don't know any other matches that have been announced as of yet, but I'm sure we'll have more action too. Now, um, yeah, I thought WrestlePalooza was um, a good card. The women's title match was phenomenal. Great card. Everything else was kind of, for me, was kind of average. I don't think it was a bad show. It was very much kind of like Becky predicted on our prediction show, like a Saturday night's main event. Like the Cody Drew match was good. It was solid. I didn't find anything wrong with it. I thought the tag match felt a little slow to me. Um, I can't put my finger on why. but for just some reason, it wasn't there for me. I'm talking about the Usos and the Bronze. It just wasn't there for me for some reason. And then the Cena Lesnar match, I think it has more to do with Cena's retirement tour, like the sort of repeat from the 2014 SummerSlam, like bloodbath that Lesnar did. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really didn't even need a Brock match in the first place. So I really just didn't care about that match. And then the Punk AJ, the mixed tag was really good too. I thought that was booked really well. It reminded me of the Kurt Angle, Ronda Rousey, Triple H and Steph match from that WrestleMania that year, where they really built up to AJ getting in the ring. And it was a great story they told there too. So it was a fine show, but I think there are pockets of wrestling fans, some of them WWE fans, some of them just bad faith fans, who expect every PLE going forward to have some sort of life changing moment. You know, like Brock showing up at the end, Seth cashing in, like how both nights of SummerSlam were like that. But they're not always going to do that. Some PLEs are just going to be a PLE, and that's okay. Like if it's a good show from top to bottom and it keeps the story moving and the match is good, then that's fine. That's not a failure, you know? And if you expect like viral earth-shattering moments from WWE, you're no better than an AEW fan who wants broken glass and light tubes and stapling each other to escalate every show. Like, stop obsessing over whether or not The Rock is going to come back. That's probably not going to happen. Not in the final boss sort of way, I don't think. So I'm just not thinking about that anymore. I am judging WWE based on what they give us, not on what I think they should be giving me. Now, we like to have these conversations sometimes, like if it was me, what would I do? And, you know, I do that stuff and I engage in that. But at the same time, like I'm not going to penalize WWE on what my preset expectations might be. Like take it at face value based on what they've built. And I really do think that the Stephanie and Io really over delivered, given that it seems to be that Stephanie was actually really sick going into that not going into that match, but in the weeks leading up, which is why she wasn't on TV. Hunter said that at one of the post show panels or whatever. And so that explains a little bit about the lack of build for that match. And also, I'm a little, I don't know. I kind of like the crown jewel novelty of champion versus champion, but at the same time, that also telegraphs the winners because ain't no way Drew was going to win that match if we were booking champion versus champion at Crown Jewel because they're not doing Drew versus Seth in Australia. They're not doing heel versus heel. So you knew Cody was going to win. And I'm curious to see who Stephanie faces now, though. Stephanie will face, you know, which of those three women, Stephanie versus Tiffany, Stephanie versus Nia, or Stephanie versus Jade. Could be a very interesting matchup for Perth coming up in October. So we'll see what happens. But sometimes I am a little bit put off by knowing that the next PLE that comes up kind of colors the decision of what we're about to see. It is what it is. Hey, Modfather. Okay. Good evening, Steve in the chat. It's been a long, exhausting day. I'm just here in the background, just listening. Keep the Modfather in your prayers, dealing with a lot of things mentally. 100% Teflon Don. I'm with you, dude. Sometimes life stacks on a little too much on our mind, and wrestling is a great place to get away from that. So with that said, back to the show after I just given my thoughts on WrestlePalooza. We'll talk about some more of that stuff as we go to commercials, but we're back now. Myles is really taking control. He speared Lexis King through the barricade. They were just back in the ring, but Lexis just clotheslined him over the top. We have steps in the ring. We have an unbroken table in the ring, sponsored by Slim Jim. And yeah, so it looks like Lexis King getting his bearings back here. Gotta know, would any of you buy that Lexis King midriff t-shirt, the tie-dye t-shirt? Would you wear it? I would not. I cannot rock a midriff shirt. Oh man, Myles Borne with the belt now just going to whipping work on Lexis King. Oh, man, super kick from King. No. My wife's trying to encourage me. I appreciate her encouragement, but I have too much mid for the riff right now.
Gotta let your belly button breathe.
Gotta let it breathe. Let that Dossie. Nobody wants to see me in that either, dude. Oh man. Sick DDT from Borne onto the top of the steps, reversing a coronation attempt from Lexis King. Have a good practice, dude. Wow. Myles Borne hitting what he called a Born again through the table. And that's 3. Looked kind of like a zigzag a little bit. Hard to tell since his lights out match, and it was a bit dark. But Myles Borne comes away with the win, so he gets his victory back from that blindfold match. And I guess these two guys are square now. Does that mean they're done, or are we going to have a blow-off match now that they're tied 1-1? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Yeah. So Myles has got a finisher called the Born Again, which is very similar to Dolph Ziggler's Zigzag, for those of you who aren't watching and don't know what that move looks like. But it was a good look, good clean shot right through the table. Good spot. So yeah, will that propel Myles Borne to the next level of NXT, whatever that is for him? That could be the end of that feud. Stevie Turner and Robert Stone on the phone with Ava, who is not there tonight. Ooh. Robert Stone is informing Ava that TNA. Ooh. Robert Stone is saying that is telling. Oh, okay. So Ava's not in the building. They, what's her name? Stone, not Robert Stone, but the girl. They tried to tell Ava that TNA wrestlers are in the building. The phone kept breaking up. So we're led to believe that Ava doesn't know that TNA performers are in the building. And every time we're seeing an NXT performer walking the aisles, we see TNA performers passing behind them in the distance backstage or in the parking lot. Guys, I'm not going to try to, you know what? I am because it's fun. It's fun to theorize. I'm not going to be upset if what I think is going to happen doesn't happen, though. That's the difference. What if Ava's in on it? What if Ava is behind the TNA invasion? What if she's working with someone in TNA? What if she had enough of Trick's nonsense? And what if her phone's breaking up, she's not in the building because she wants plausible deniability and she's really working with TNA? That would honestly be a nice, it would be a nice storytelling volley in TNA's favor, given that TNA has really gotten the short end of the stick in this. Justin, good to see you. Justin's asking, who do you think will get involved in the title versus title matches, Dark State or Santana with the TNA roster? I mean, we might have a lot of people get involved, to be honest. One thing may beget another. But what I've been picturing this whole time is Santana with the TNA roster. I think we get a no contest. But here's something I was thinking about earlier today when I was considering talking to you guys about that, right? Is that, okay, let's say Santana shows up, right? And he costs both of them, the match. So it's a no contest, right? Santana is the number 1 contender to the TNA title, and he's got a title shot at Bound for Glory. And let's just say if Santana attacks both Trick and Oba, what if Oba showed up at Bound for Glory and cost Mike Santana just to mess with him for revenge. That's something I'm curious about, because I'm sure more than anything, Santana, I would say this: if I'm Santana, I don't want to face Oba Femi for the TNA title at Bound for Glory. I mean, if I have to face one of these guys, I want it to be Trick. One, you've had beef with Trick all this time. Two, Oba Femi's the ruler, and then nobody beaten him one-on-one since January, maybe even before. And so, anyway, just a thought. Wonder what we can get. We will see what we get. No, I don't think the Undertaker's getting involved. I don't think we're going to go main roster with any of this. Speaking of main roster, though, you guys might have seen today, we got a match announced for Crown Jewel. John Cena will be taking on AJ Styles in Perth, Australia. So we're going to get Cena and AJ one more time, which I'm really happy to see. I'm glad for that, because say what you will about Cena's retirement tour and how that's gone. At this point, it seems like they're just leaning into, let's do some memorable matches, and I'm for that. So I'm appreciative of that. I really hope Cena gets into War Games at Survivor Series, because I'm assuming that War Games will have some kind of good guy versus bad guy. Obviously, that's so overly simplistic. But in the babyface versus heel matchup, that you're probably going to have the Vision and maybe Brock Lesnar and, let's say, Drew McIntyre. I mean, that matchup kind of writes itself, to be honest. You could have Seth, Braun, Bronson, Brock, and Drew against, Cody, Punk, Cena, and you could do both Usos, or you could do Jay and LA Knight. You could do whatever you want to do in that one. But yeah, with Cena in War Games, which we're back now, by the way. All Ego Ethan Page making his entrance. Yes, you could also have Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns, by the way, is featured on the poster for Crown Jewel, so maybe he'll be back by that time. And let's not forget, Survivor Series is in San Diego, which, the West Coast is Bloodline country, and Mysterio country as well. Anyway, Wagner is here. Dr. Wagner's here again. He's not done stalking Ethan Page. Okay. But it's such an open and shut book to put Cena in War Games. You just have him be the last one who comes in the ring. And so he doesn't have to take that brutal of a beating. And that way you could sort of have matches, get Cena matches with Seth, with Bronson, with Braun, and with Drew, that he won't be able to have one-on-one because there's not enough time left. So anyway, I'm for it. Cena in War Games. All right. Ethan Page bragging about beating Tyler Breeze last week. All right. Ethan Page calling attention to Dr. Wagner Jr. being in the crowd from AAA. The AAA Latin American champion, by the way. I will say, NXT has been leaning really hard on two belt stuff. I think Angela was the one who said, you're tired of seeing two belt champions. 2025 has really been two belt year in NXT. Man, Justin, a TNA and AAA invasion would be bananas. All right, Ethan Page has invited Wagner to No Mercy this weekend, where Ethan Page is going to be taking on Tavian Heights, but he's inviting Wagner into the ring. Wagner's getting in the ring. Wait a minute. They're throwing hands. Wait a minute. I don't think that's Dr. Wagner, because he's got Ethan Page in an ankle lock. I think it might be Tavian Heights under that mask. I've never seen Dr. Wagner use the ankle lock before. Yeah, he's unmasking. It's Tavian Heights. Tavian Heights in a mask drops Ethan Page. All right. Well, will Tavian Heights capture the North American title at No Mercy? Oh, there's the Blake Monroe video. Someone's watching on an iPad. Probably Jordan. Yeah. Jordan Grace. I don't think so either, Anthony. Ariana versus Jordan tonight, probably, and Ariana Grace not excited about it. I love her character. Good comic relief, Ariana Grace. It's in her DNA. What can I say? All right, Candice Lerae making her way to the ring. It's time for a speed match. Candice Lerae versus Lainey Reid. Oh, and Candice Lerae was the inaugural speed champion. I did not remember that. So, will we get Lainey Reid versus Sol Ruca at No Mercy, or Candice LeRae versus Sol Ruca at No Mercy? I gotta say, I think Lainey Reid's going to pull off. Would you call it an upset? I think Lainey Reid's pulling off the upset in this match, and we're going to get Lainey Reid versus Sol Ruca at No Mercy. That's just what I think. We shall see. All right, George says Candice LeRae. Justin says Lainey Reid. Okay. Great. Yeah. So I think there's been some interesting emergence, of reporting and stuff since WrestlePalooza. So there was an individual beat writer for ESPN, who called WrestlePalooza average. He gave it a C grade. And people have had varying degrees of reactions about that. I don't think giving the entire card a C grade is entirely unfair. I think I would have probably given it a B. But he did say, he mentioned, he used some language discussing that it fell short of expectations. And that's the thing that I think is sometimes a fan problem and not a WWE problem. Because the thing is that WWE did promise surprises, and there were surprises. The thing is that when you hear that surprises are happening, some people fill in the gaps. And I saw more people than I was comfortable with on Twitter saying, what if The Rock showed up and helped Drew McIntyre beat Cody Rhodes? Like, they were so sold on that being a possibility, which, guys, I'm afraid we're just going to have to let go of that narrative. Meanwhile, we got the announcement that Stephanie McMahon's going into the Hall of Fame, which was a surprise not only to us, but to Stephanie as well. That was actually a pretty sweet segment. We got Brock Lesnar demolishing Cena, I would call that a surprise as well, even though I did predict Brock to win. I did not expect a sort of remake of SummerSlam 2014 when that happened. So yeah, I would say there were still surprises there. But you know, sometimes we need to temper our expectations going into a show. That's all. That's all. Yeah, I don't really grade shows either, Sean. So when I see them, I tend to be a little I don't know, a little hesitant to really do that myself. You know, I don't do that so much. Yes, Anthony, The Rock don't need to mess anything up. The Rock needs to focus on the smashing machine and getting that Hollywood gold, getting that little statue, you know. And I think he's got some good prospects for it. Now, whether he'll get the gold statue, I don't know. I don't know about all that, but still, yeah. Anyway, so there we are. Yeah, Sean. I mean, I'm one of the people who doesn't want to see The Rock again. I don't want to see The Rock again as a wrestler. He can come back and do the Hall of Fame. He can come back and cut a promo and throw one rock bottom. But I'm done. I'm done with this final boss stuff because he created such intrigue with Cody and with Roman, and then he threw it all in the toilet. And like, so he just jump started a potential feud and he fumbled it by walking away. And so, I mean, that's not all on him. You know, there's multiple cogs in that wheel, but like, dude, don't come in and drop hints if you're not planning to do anything about it. All that does is create false sense of expectation. So I'm glad to see Dwayne come back for any other thing that he wants to do, obviously. But I don't need him to be an active part of TV. There's so many good talents on the roster right now that we can be spending time with. And that goes for Cena too. Once it's time for Cena to be done, that he won't be eating up a ton of TV time anymore either. So is what it is. We have a NASCAR driver doing the ring announcing for this match. Oh, speed, I guess. That kind of makes sense. All right. Here comes Lainey Reid. George is asking if Fatal Influence will cost JC Jane the NXT Women's Championship. I mean, they're definitely having Zaruka are up in the balcony observing this match. Okay. So it's time for the speed match. Let's see. And let's see what we got. 3 minutes. Man, Candice slipped on a springboard there. Thankfully, she's okay. I feel like they were just working the internet there. Who's here? Is that Gail Kim? Oh, the Angel Warriors. I don't know who the Angel Warriors are, but they're from TNA. Yeah, so okay, they are definitely stacking something huge. For TNA. Xylee and Zy Brookside. Ah, thanks, George. I didn't know. I'll be right back, you guys. Unfortunately, I've got to chase down a channel mascot. Be right back. That is the life of streaming. Be right back. Okay, Lainey Reid pulls it out. And there we go. So she gets 5 minutes, I believe, with Sol Ruca at No Mercy. Yeah, Sean. So they announced, hey, Marcus Baker, good to see you, man. They announced at the last NXT PLE that the speed titles were going to come to NXT. So Sol Ruca was already the title holder, and they just got done just now with the speed number one contender tournament. And then they are going to have that belt defended at No Mercy. But I think NXT is a great place for speed because it's a 3-minute match and it works great. All right, here's Jada Parker. Oh, I don't think Lainey Reid's going up to the main roster anytime soon. They're going to keep her on NXT for a while. She just got here. Clock it. Okay. Oh, Lyra's here again. Talking to Tatum Paxley. Tyrell, I would absolutely be a face in real life. I don't have the heart to be a heel in real life. Hank and Tank are here. Oh, and here's Izzy Dame to ruin things. Izzy Dame trying to poison the well with Lyra Valkyria. Okay. Who's making an entrance now? Jordan Grace. So we're getting the Grace versus Grace. Grace upon Grace. Jordan Grace versus Ariana Grace tonight. Marcus Baker, could we possibly get a TNA versus WWE at War Games? I don't think WWE, no. The closest thing we will probably get is a TNA versus NXT War Games. I think the War Games for main roster will be just main roster stuff. What No Mercy match am I looking forward to seeing the most? That's a great question because I was so focused on WrestlePalooza and all that stuff, I haven't thought much about the card. So I'm going to go check out the card real quick. So this is what we got so far. So far, we got JC Jane versus Lola Vice for the women's title. We've got Sol Ruca and Lainey Reid for the speed title. The winner of tonight's Oba Femi Trick Williams match versus Ricky Saints, and then Ethan Page versus Tavion Hines. I got to admit, right now, the card as it stands isn't the most hyped I've been for an NXT card this year. I'm probably the most excited for JC Jane versus Lola Vice. They really seem to be putting their money where their mouth is and building Lola Vice this time around. So I'm hoping that they actually pull the trigger with her and then get the belt off JC Jane. It looks like, they're primed to maybe have some sort of inner turmoil with JC Jane and the rest of Fatal Influence that they can give us. We've even talked week to week on, there's been a little bit of a tease that maybe Lainey Reid could be brought into Fatal Influence. And would that happen if they kicked out JC Jane? We don't know what's going to come of that. So anyway, yeah, Lainey Reid was on Evolve. She started off on Evolve and came up. I do not recall if she was ever on LFG because, to be fair, I only watched 1 or 2 episodes of LFG. So I'm curious what, when it comes to the NXT men's world title match, I am curious as to what Ricky Saints' attitude is going to be like, because he feels kind of heelish to me, even though he's still technically a babyface. And in that promo last week on Homecoming, when they were in the Grayson Waller segment, it felt like Ricky was more heel and, Oba was more face. Oba's not a heel anyways, but yeah, that's just a thought. All right. So if WWE can put the women's championship on Stephanie Vaquera, they can certainly put the NXT women's championship on Lola Vice. 100%. 100%. The thing is that, the women in NXT, there's a lot of good, in my opinion, there's a lot of good contenders for the women's title. So, it's not, I don't think they're robbing Lola Vice, but I think there's just a lot of good choices there because they've already solidified JC Jane as a competitor. She was the one who beat Stephanie Vaquera. You've got Blake Monroe, Jordan Grace, Lash Legend, Jada Parker, and Lola Vice. Any of them could be quite good, so yeah, I wouldn't mind that one bit for them to go with Lola next. Speaking of Lara, AJ and B combos, he brought this up the other day of the movie Me, Myself, and Irene. I remember that. Jim Carrey and all those guys. Bailey's doing a good job with the schizophrenic character. Yeah, the sort of 3 faces of Bailey is a lot of fun. I hope she, can lean into that a bit more and do something more there. Hopefully they'll get the most out of it this time. But yeah, I think she's doing good work. And yeah, I think Jey Uso's doing great work too. He's definitely like cracking under the pressure of trying to be his own man and trying to be the kind of man that Roman was, So yeah, I'm interested with where they're going with him too. I just hope they actually really go for it with him. Yeah, I didn't even mention Soul, George. Yeah, she absolutely can too. Uriah Connors and Cale Dixon talking to a beaten up Andre Chase. Oh, more NASCAR cross promotion. Do they do a lot of NASCAR driving on the CW? Oh, it's a Joe Hendry tease. Oh, Dark State's here. Dark State's trying to bully people into not saying Joe Hendry's name. Cutler James is totally going to say it, isn't he? Joe Hendry was in the back dressed like a NASCAR driver with a helmet on. Sophie, that's a bomb idea. I love the idea of Mickie James doing 2 Hall of Fames in 1 year. Okay, so we're going to have a 6-man tag with Dark State versus Chase U and Joe Hendry. And here comes Ariana Grace and her full pageantry. Anyway, Sophie, you asked a question about NXT's ticket prices. Well, they're in the same building every week. So of course their ticket prices aren't skyrocketing. But they have increased. Don't believe they haven't increased. It's just they're priced appropriately for what they are. Okay, Ariana Grace going right after Jordan. But now Jordan's in control. I feel like she's going to make short work of Ariana. Marcus, no, he's actually still a TNA talent, but it's clear they're slowly just trying to merge him over. So it's only a matter of time that he is officially a WWE superstar or NXT superstar. Death Valley Driver there from Jordan Grace. Yeah, this is definitely like an old school WWF superstars squash match we're going to get. They do usually only do 1 woman per year, Sophie, but you never know. They could try to do something different at some point. We'll probably get Blake sometime after this, so let's see what we got here. All right. I don't think Vince comes back. I don't think Vince comes back, especially with all of that stuff still out in the air. I don't think even WWE will do that. So, hey, Shamanica, good to see you. Just enjoying some NXT right now. Jordan Grace putting the hurt on Ariana Grace right now. Big clothesline. Justin, yeah, I don't know. Once he officially gets signed, I would think he might still spend a little bit of time on NXT, but he's spent so much time on NXT now. Maybe he will just go straight up to the main roster. Got her in the torture rack. All right, that's that. 3 count. We are done. Jordan Grace effectively squashes Ariana Grace. Stax Lorenzo comforting Ariana Grace. Oh, here comes the glamour. Justin, that would be nuts. Oh my gosh, she's coming out with a pink garbage can. And Jordan's got a chair. I was going to say, they need to have some kind of a violent match. Blake's got a pink kendo stick, and Jordan's got a chair, and the chair is winning. But here comes Blake. She's got that kendo stick. Smack. All right. Oh, now double leg takedown by Jordan, and they're throwing hands now. Marcus, I don't know that The Rock. I don't think The Rock will be inducted the same year as Stephanie McMahon. I have a feeling they're gonna have Stephanie be the headliner. All right, Stevie and Robert Stone are out here. No mercy. A weapons match? Why don't you just call it Extreme Rules? Bigger than that. Okay. Well, that is now my most anticipated match of the weekend. Jordan and Blake in a steel cage match with weapons, I'm guessing. Kelly Kincaid now interviewing Lainey Reid backstage. I'm here for it. Yeah, Sean, I think so. He'll mention The Rock. He'll mention Triple H in some capacity. Well, here's Fatal Influence rolling up on Lainey Reid. Okay. JC said she can handle Lola by herself and left Jasmine and Fallon back there with Lainey Reid. They keep teasing us. So we'll see what we got. All right. Who wants to talk? Who's got questions? As we are into another commercial break. Yeah, JC Jane's going to have a bad time. I think that I think Joe Hendry's gimmick could work on the main roster. We already saw him at WrestleMania, even though it was a one-off match. And I don't know to what high of heights Joe Hendry will ascend to with his gimmick. He may be an R-Truth type character. Dossie, nowhere to run except the door in the top of the cage. Yeah, for real, right? Oh man, I used to think about, the old timers, and even old timers for me, not even me as an old timer, who used to complain about escaping in cage matches. Because the idea behind the cage match is you hate each other is exactly actually the idea behind the cage match is exactly why Jordan and Blake are having one. You hate each other so much, you need to be contained. And the only way you win that match is, you beat them down to where they can't go on anymore. And the idea behind escaping wasn't like running away. It was beating someone down to the point where they're not going to get up and you just leave because the job is done, and people don't try to win cage matches that way, which is a shame. Anyway, Shamanica asks, who do you see winning the Rumble next year? Ooh, that's a good question. For months, I have said I think Sami Zayn is going to win the men's Rumble. I'm still on that right now. Unless maybe, there is at some point, I don't think it'll be this year or this WrestleMania even, but I do think that one of these days, Braun Breaker is going to break away from Seth Rollins and those guys. But right now, Sami Zayn would be my pick for the men. For the women, that's a little trickier. I feel like it depends on who's not champion and who's, in line for things. Honestly, with the way the stories have been going, right? If Bianca's ready to come back and she hasn't come back by the Rumble, I wouldn't mind seeing Bianca win it. Also, with this story that we're just starting to get into now, once she gets through with it, I know some of y'all might be tired. I don't know if y'all would be tired of her or not, but I'd love to see Io Sky win the Royal Rumble. I think that would be a great credit on her resume to have. And she's amazing. And I would want her in as a part of a title match at WrestleMania again after what she and Rhea and what's her name did? Bianca. What am I doing? Liv Morgan could return. She could be, if she is ready, she could be a winner. Roxanne could be a sleeper, kind of a dark horse there. But and there's someone else I'm thinking of that I haven't said. I think Rhea also, could be someone as well. Depending on how far they go with Bayley with this character, she could do it too. Well, here comes Fatal Influence. Yeah, JC Jane coming out by herself to address Lola Vice tonight. And George says, let's say that Lainey Reid doesn't win the Speed Championship during the NXT Women's Championship. Fallon and Jasmine come out with Lainey Reid. I mean, yeah, that would be a really quick turnaround and bringing her into the group. We do know all of them will be present in the building that night now, so it's a possibility. Okay. All right. Here comes JC Jane, ready to cut a promo on Lola Vice, I'm assuming. It could be the last time we see her as NXT Women's Champion before Saturday in her defense. Is she chewing gum? I feel like you shouldn't be chewing gum in a promo unless you're Mr. Perfect. Well, JC Jane has beaten the allegations. I'll give her that. I do find it interesting and ironic that JC Jane is speaking a lot of truth right now about beating the allegations of being, transitional, not really that strong, all hype or whatever. And now she's saying those things about Lola Vice, and that could be her undoing. Yeah, Lola's going to pretty much be in her hometown too. I mean, they're in Fort Lauderdale and she's from Miami, but it's going to be close enough. I'm sure her family will be there. Be right back, guys. Channel mascot's being a little naughty tonight. Props to Lola bringing out her bad booking from a year ago. Justin, I think they're still telling a story with Fatal Influence. I don't think they're leaving yet. Now, JC might come up, but I think Fallon and Jasmine and probably Lainey, who I think she'll join them sometime. I think they'll stick around for a little bit longer. Crowd's firmly behind Lola now, though. You're all fickle. Come on, JC. I just hope Lola smacks her right now. Lola looked like she want to kill right now, and that's a great look. Come on, hit that spinning back fist. Come on, Lola, drop her. Oh, woo! Oh, that was clean. And knocked her out cold. Lola didn't dance too much either. She gave you a little something. But okay. All right, 6-man tag coming up next. Dark State versus Joe Hendry and the liability that is Chase U. It might be entertaining here, but I think it's pretty dead on that Dark State will probably win. Yeah, Marcus, what do you think's going to happen, man? I absolutely have a strong feeling that all these TNA performers we've seen walking around tonight are gonna just create havoc and cause a no contest tonight. Lola definitely taking it seriously this time, for sure. Oh man. Yeah, so Friday, yeah, we've got a triple threat for the women's championship. Jade Cargill, Nia Jax, and Tiffany Stratton. The winner most likely will be the one who goes to Crown Jewel in Perth to take on Stephanie Vaquer in that title versus title match, the Crown Jewel Championship match. Justin, yeah, you know what? I haven't seen the Hardys. Here's the thing that I'm thinking is if they are doing some sort of TNA interference, I don't think they want to bring anybody in that they think is going to produce a big pop. Like, I don't think they'll bring the Hardys in, because of how much they're loved, right? So I think that it'll probably be more TNA mainstays coming in, and somebody that the TNA crowd won't, the NXT crowd won't be tempted to chant for, because if that's the case, then they're definitely building up a they're building up a moment that is going to disappoint the fans, which is not having a clear winner in this title for title match. So I don't think they want to have the fans happy that there's no winner. So it would be hard for them, I think, to carry that out if, for instance, the Hardys were among that group. But you know what? We'll see what happens. Maybe it will. Did I see that EO and Steph saved ESPN a little? I saw that, the beat writer for ESPN who reviewed WrestlePalooza said that was the best match, which it was. It was the best match of the card, but I don't think it was a bad show. Like, I mean, I think I said this at the beginning of the show before you came in the chat, Shamanica, that I gave WrestlePalooza like a solid B. It wasn't the best show of the year by far, but I think it was all right. I mean, I don't know. Like, if we're doing ESPN exclusive PLEs, I don't know that we do more than 5 matches, because if anything, ESPN loves a good cutaway interview segment, a little personality profile, all the, everything that Saturday night's main event does is like an ESPN style broadcast. So I think more of these PLEs are going to look like Saturday night's main event, like WrestlePalooza, than less, except for your big 4, your Survivor Series, your Royal Rumble, your WrestleMania, your SummerSlam. Oh, that tag match will be fun, George. Yeah, No Mercy will still be a good show. So I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to go live for No Mercy. Saturdays in the fall are a little difficult for me. So I'm still deciding if I can make that work. But if not, I'll come in later on and talk to you guys with it. If not, the following Tuesday, we'll always be right here to talk it up. So we'll see what we can do. Tyrell, good to see you, man. Nice, man. From X-Men Legends. Oh, yeah. X-Men Legends was a great game. Yeah, Crown Jewel is going to be a fun show, and that's going to be on at a weird time in the morning too, because it's in Australia. So I'm absolutely going to try to go live for that. We're getting a Briggs promo. Okay, vignette. Good. We're getting a highlight reel on Briggs. Oh, Briggs is cutting a promo on not connecting with the fans. Yeah, I agree, Shimonica. Oh, thank you, Sophie. I like it when they put two people together in a feud who have just opposing philosophies. Briggs is here saying Javon Evans is weak because he fights for the approval of the fans. And he's like, I see the fans as hypocrites, don't care what they think. And that's why I'm better than Javon. I mean, that's so basic storytelling. I don't care if I connect with the fans if my boot connects with his face. I mean, come on, dude. Yeah, Sean. Oh, it's going to be an early morning. I'm going to need to coffee up for sure for Crown Jewel. It's going to be dark outside out here and everything. But you know what? It's nice to see maybe if I can get done with a live stream in the morning and still have the whole day ahead of me. Should be a lot of fun. I might even get to watch a few college football games. Yeah, I think Crown Jewel's going to be at like 4:30 or 5 my time. Hey, Drew. Good to see you. Put who together, George? Here he comes. Crowd is singing along. Clap, clap. Okay, here comes the fight. Sophie, that was fake. That was a fake report. It wasn't real. Oh man. Okay, a lot of teamwork by Chase U. All they've done is grade WrestlePalooza, Sophie. They didn't even grade Raw, I don't think. I mean, George, they might at some point. I just don't think they'll do it yet. You know what I mean? They're still really, really fresh and green, these guys. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking right now, Sophie. They wrote one guy wrote a raw review, a raw takeaways, but it's not great. He didn't write a grade. It was just like a report, just like a recap. But yeah, the guy who wrote the WrestlePalooza article is stupid. I mean, he's known from the IWC as more of an AEW fan, anyways. So I don't think he's going to grade WWE content fairly because it's so different than AEW in the first place. Kale Dixon doing a dive off the rope, knocking down a couple of Dark State guys. Oh, and all three guys are about to do the Joe Hendry pose. Chase U and Joe Hendry standing tall at the moment. Sophie, there's no grade for Raw. I'm telling you, what you saw was fake. It was made. It was made up. I literally just looked at the review on ESPN, and there is no grade for Raw. There is a grade for WrestlePalooza that one guy who's an AEW fan who writes for ESPN gave it a C, but there is no grade for Raw. Just a recap. Literally, yeah. So that's just somebody making stuff up, and those are just tribalists who are probably pretty upset today because I don't know if you guys are familiar with Pro Wrestling Illustrated. That was like the premier wrestling magazine when I was growing up, back when everything was still kayfabe, and they would rank all the wrestlers every year and do the PWI 500. Well, apparently they still do that today, and Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes got number one the past 2 years in a row. Like, he got number one this year as well. And some people were really upset because Jey Uso was number 6 and he beat Will Ospreay, which is just hilarious to me for wrestling fans, So anyway, well, CM Punk didn't wrestle as much, I don't think, So I think that's fine because, Cena and Roman didn't even make the list because they barely wrestled too. So I think it's a fair kayfabe top 10 list. I really don't. Me either, George. I don't care about other people's evaluations of wrestling. I would rather watch it myself and decide for myself, based on what I enjoy. Meanwhile, Dark State just out here straight mugging one of the guys from Chase U before putting him back in the ring. So. Well, it's not just PW Insider saying it. It's Sports Illustrated says it. Bleacher Report says it. Everybody says it. Yeah, George. Me too. Just enjoying. I want to be able to enjoy what I watch. And personally, I don't really get that from AEW. I've tried, but I just don't care for it. And I don't care if other people like it or don't like it for the most part. It's just when anyone tries to sound like an elitist with what they like. So. Oh yeah, AJ Lee will be back in WWE and be in the 2K games going forward for sure. That'll be great to have her there. Dro, I don't know who Carlos Ulberg or Dom Reyes are, so I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, we're almost back from commercial. PS5, Sean. On PS5. Yeah, me too, Sophie. I mean, like I try to keep up with as much of WWE as I can, but like I don't watch Evolve, I don't watch LFG. Um Lately I haven't really been able to watch Raw live. I usually watch it later. Um just because things have been busy, but yeah, so and I try to make time for the PLEs when I can, but so let's see. Well, okay, Mike Santana's here. I'm guessing that's probably the last piece of the TNA puzzle that they're showing. Why are we sounding shocked that Mike Santana is here? Like we've been seeing TNA superstars here all night long, you know? That's interesting, Sean. I have had a few crash issues before with 2K, but usually, I mean, that hasn't usually been it though. It's not when pausing. I'm trying to remember if there's anything consistent that happens when that happens to me, but I don't know. Joe Hendry breaks up the pin, and now things are breaking down. Well, Dark State just dumped everybody, and they've still got that one member of Chase U. Oh man, I think Uriah Connors just tossed over the barricade, and Cale Dixon just in the ring by himself with Osiris Griffin. Sophie, you know, I'm indifferent about it. It doesn't really bother me. Raw being on early. I've heard a lot of positive feedback from people, though. I've seen a lot of people like it. Tag to Joe Hendry. Here he comes. I mean, I think it's always nice when you can get a little bit more of your day back at the end of Raw. Having an extra hour is nice. Maybe, George. We haven't seen Hank and Tank tonight. In the foreground, anyway. Swinging Hurricane Rana there from Joe Hendry. Almost looks like he wasn't going to get it. Fall away slam and a kip up from Joe Hendry. Oh gosh, that pose, man. All right, going for a choke slam, but he's about to get swarmed by Dark State, though. Dark State's like tag work of like sneaking in and doing underhanded interferences is getting a lot cleaner. They're doing a lot better with that. Yeah, I mean, last week was my birthday. I missed Raw, and then this week I was at the gym. I had been out of town during the day, and I didn't even get back home until after Raw was over. So, not a huge thing. Okay, tagging Uriah Connors, who's come in from over the barricade back in the ring, still kind of selling injuries though for a hot tag. That is the nice thing about watching on Netflix, Raw on Netflix after the fact is you don't have to sit through the commercials. And that's great. Spinning heel kick and then a tornado DDT from Uriah Connors. Okay. Cutler James trying to talk down Andre Chase, but he eats a suicide dive from Uriah Connors. But Osiris Griffin's waiting for him. Oh, super kick. The numbers game, man. The numbers game. Yeah, Sean. I mean, they're a gang, right? They're a gang faction, pretty much. I think they could work pretty well. I think they need a little bit of cleanup, but yeah, if done correctly, they absolutely could. But I wouldn't. Dark State wins predictably, but that doesn't mean it was bad. It was actually a pretty decent 6-man tag here. Back to your point, though, Sean. I wouldn't repeat what we did in NXT with. I wouldn't repeat what we did in NXT with Dark State. I wouldn't rush them to the top of the card. I would have them be this numbers game faction and start them off in the mid card instead. And then work and build them up. Because I can go ahead and tell you right now, the Usos and LA Knights and CM Punks of the world would eat them alive. Absolutely eat them alive on TV. So they would really need to start off, attacking people like the War Raiders or DIY or the Motor City Machine Guns. Actually, they wouldn't be a bad addition to the SmackDown tag division if you could get the Wyatts out of there. If you could get the Wyatts back over to Raw, just hypothetically speaking, I'm not saying the Wyatts should go over to Raw. I just think the Wyatts are the only team on SmackDown that would make Dark State look small. And so I think they're probably best effective to sort of bully around the Motor City Machine Guns, the Street Profits, the DIYs of WWE. I think they could do that. And it could still be competitive with those teams too, like you could still believe they might beat Dark State. But it's just they have too many people. So yeah. Well, it's not only that, Anthony, that it's the same tag teams on SmackDown, but all the tag teams that they have on SmackDown are all really good in the ring, but they are all kind of small, comparatively speaking. Like the War Raiders, those are big dudes. The New Day, I mean, they're not small, but they're also like legends at this point. The Judgment Day has a numbers game too, so Dark State wouldn't look effective there. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Yeah, Sophie. I mean, depending on what time of year they get called up, they could get hit road. That is true. I would hate to see that happen. Yes, George. The Usos are kind of back together. They are like Jimmy's on Raw with Jay, and they do hang out. And Jay still is on kind of this weird journey that he's dealing with. But yeah, they're more or less back together. I wouldn't say that doesn't mean that Jay's no longer a singles act, but they are, bonded together. Yeah, I mean, absolutely one of them could be released. I mean, they could just get repackaged to a degree when they come up to the main roster too, because honestly, I mean, it's none of them are terrible, but I will say Cutler James doesn't feel like he fits with the group to me. Like you could have Deion Lennox and Osiris Griffin be a tag team and Saquon be a solo act and still have them as a group. But Cutler, I don't know, man. Cutler just sticks out. He sticks out like a sore thumb to me in that group, So I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to come of it all. We'll see. But yeah, we got 30 minutes left, so we do have coming off the break a Ricky Saints video package, and we do have that main event coming along, of Trick Williams and Oba Femi, title for title on the line. We already know that like half the freaking TNA roster is in the building. And we'll see what happens. All roads seem to be leading to a no contest for this match. I will tell you this. If we get a winner, I'll be shocked. I will be utterly surprised if we get out of this show tonight and one of those men is indeed holding both belts. Okay, good marked moment, George. Good marked moment for Lola knocking out JC Jane. What a great knockout shot, too. We got another Saturday night's main event coming up right after Halloween. There was an early Saturday night's main event that was kind of Halloween themed. I remember I remember Roddy Piper dressed up like Superman. Ricky Saints. Okay, we're getting a sympathy personality profile for Ricky Saints. And I got to tell you, listen, I'm not a Ricky Saints hater, but I don't want to feel sympathy for him. I want to hate him, to be honest, in a good way. He's just got a cocky face. Does that make sense? Some people in life you meet just like the Miz, just ooze arrogance a bit. And you're like, you're a punk, dude. And Ricky is kind of a punk and not in a bad way. Like, that's perfect for wrestling. But I ain't connecting with Ricky as a babyface. This is really well shot, though. It's beautifully made. Don't say glamour, Ricky. I'm pretty sure that's trademarked at this point. Dro, they haven't announced a match for Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel. Granted, he is on the poster, but I don't know that he's got a match. Justin, if you had to put a female with Dark State, let me think. Out of the two that you mentioned, I'd say Meechin. I'm trying to think if there's someone else I'd rather see, though. Yeah, I think Meechin. I think Meechin. Yeah, Drew, that wouldn't be a bad thing. But Drew, I think, isn't done with Cody yet, and he's in Randy, and so I don't know how Roman would fit into that. It would be absolutely insane, but doing Roman and Brock would be interesting. I mean, that was an expertly shot and produced video segment for Ricky Saints, but I cannot tell you how little I buy into him as a babyface. I don't at all. I want it's that backwards thing. He's like Ethan Page to me. Like this is like if they wanted Ethan Page to be a babyface. Like I just want, yeah, I just want them to get behind him as a heel, and I can get behind that. All right, Lola, now's your time, girl. Lola Vice versus JC Jane this Saturday at No Mercy. Actually, what time are the events Saturday? Yeah. Yeah. And Sean, like, and chat, don't hear me wrong. Like, that's not me saying that Ricky Saints isn't good or he doesn't have a future on the main roster. Like, some dudes are just heels. Like the Honky Tonk Man wasn't a baby face. Like, I don't know. Justin, I was just looking at that. I'm not sure that I'm going to be around for No Mercy. I hate to do that to you guys, but like I said, I have pretty tight schedules on Saturdays in September. So I may just have to catch up with you guys on Tuesday and watch it after the fact. But I may talk to A&B Combos, though, see if they're doing anything Saturday. Maybe they'll do a stream for No Mercy instead, because it will be on Peacock, not ESPN, you guys. And that Blake and Jordan cage match, you ain't going to want to miss that. We got Javon Evans backstage with Kelly Kincaid. Oh, and he's being asked about TNA. Uh-oh. Something's going on. There was a crash somewhere. Someone's calling for help. Someone's asking for a medic. Jasmine Nix just got dropped, y'all. Ooh. Is Lola going hunting? Or was it Lola? No, that's Jasmine Nix. Jasmine Nix got knocked out. She probably made fun of another special needs kid. And she effed around and found out. All right, here comes the TNA champion. It's time for the main event, y'all. Ooh, Justin, man, I'm holding my breath. Georgia and Alabama is always a very tense matchup. Even though Alabama, historically wins more of those games, it's always tight. It's almost always a very tight game. And yeah, I'm nervous about it. But I mean, Georgia's got they always have a great shot at winning that game. So they have a great shot this year too. And they beat Tennessee. So I think they have the strongest win. Oh, Moose is here. The Elegance brand is here. Georgia, right. And it could have been Lainey Reid. Yeah, a lot of the audience is TNA people. And now Tricka is noticing it. Okay, well, we got 20 minutes to wrap up this show, and while we're on break, it's gonna be interesting. I feel like it's got to go no contest, but Anthony thinks Fallon jump Nix. Oh, Justin. Oh man, OU was doing so well this year too. How long is he out? Is he out for the season? Ooh, that's tough. That's tough, dude. Hopefully he'll come back, because I know the prospects for Oklahoma were looking really good this year. Angela, you know what? It doesn't have the same quickness that NXT normally does. I'll agree with you there. It does feel, I don't know that I'd call it long, but it certainly doesn't feel as quick as it normally goes. Normally every week they're pretty quick, they're pretty clean and go from segment to segment. I think part of it is they have repeated a lot of the same sort of tropes tonight. Like, they've repeatedly shown us that the TNA roster is showing up in the building. And by showing us the same things over and over again, the show has felt a little long in ways like that. But we're about to have Oba and Trick. Ronwell Nagales. Good to see Ronwell, the champion of champions, in the house. Welcome to Mark by Wrestling. By the way, guys, hit that like button if you haven't already, and please subscribe if you're not a subscriber here. We live stream a lot together. Last week, we also play 2K every week, and we just talk about what's going on in wrestling while we play the game. And last week we did a mixed match challenge tournament that was won by Montez Ford and Bianca Belair. But there are so many couples in the game, which I guess that's a great thing, right? I have enough couples to make a whole second mixed match challenge tournament. So I'm planning to do part 2 sometime this week. So we'll see what happens. So just if you subscribe, and yeah, we're getting so close to 10K. We want to get to 10K by the end of the year, and I want to be able to offer memberships and super chats to you guys by the end of the year as well. Really looking to cross that threshold. We're getting closer and closer every day. Hopefully we can cross that soon. Yeah, so as it stands, we're gearing up for a hot finish tonight. I would be very surprised if this many TNA talent showed up tonight and we didn't get some kind of full-on brawl. And we are about 2 months away from from Survivor Series, but I don't know what we'll do for NXT in that time. So let me take a look and see if we have the NXT PLE calendar set up here and we know what's going to be what. So as of this year, okay. Yeah. Let's see. Heat Wave, No Mercy. Okay, that doesn't actually have the list. Let me see. We have Halloween Havoc. We have Halloween Havoc in October. And there's currently not another NXT PLE listed for November as of yet. However, we have Halloween Havoc at the end of October. So, Anthony, if they brought back TakeOver, oh, that would be Anthony. Applause for Anthony. You know why? Because the word invasion is cursed. We're not going to do invasion again because that fell flat on its face, like Titus O'Neil trying to enter the Greatest Royal Rumble. However, with it being NXT, bro, calling it TakeOver is such a freaking stroke of genius. I love you for that, Anthony. If they don't call it TakeOver TNA or TakeOver, I don't care what the subtitle is. If they don't call it TakeOver, they have fumbled harder than Derrick Henry at the end of a Ravens game. Sorry if you're a Ravens fan. Anyway, Ronwell, I look forward to you becoming a Super Chat champion at Marked by Wrestling. Yeah. Deadline is in December, Angela. Okay, so the November NXT PLE is currently unnamed. Calling it TakeOver would be brilliant. Bro, Sean, that Titus moment was amazing. Titus World Slide, baby. All right, here we are. I got to tell you, man, Oba and Trick have some good chemistry together. So even if this turns out to be nothing, hopefully they'll let them work a little bit because they at least got 15 minutes before the end of the show here. They get some time to work. I know Trick ain't trying to play guitar. I've been dying for AJ Styles to align himself with TNA, but now that they've announced he's going to face John Cena at Crown Jewel, I feel like he's not going to get involved in this at all. All right, Dro's calling for Trick. I'm still predicting a no contest here. I know if I am a TNA talent, I would love to ruin Trick Williams' title reign, but I don't want Oba Femi holding that title because it's never coming back if Oba's holding it. So this has never happened. Oh, Trick trying to go for that trouble in paradise. Rick Ortiz got Oba. Okay. Chops. Yeah. Angel's got a good point about time too. It would be crazy for this just to be a 10-minute match, you know. But these guys are going for the big signature moves right out of the gate. So it's kind of like they're starting 10 minutes in the match, you know. Big chop by Oba Femi. Wow. Vic Joseph pointing out, I didn't realize this. This is actually, I can't believe it didn't click with me. This actually is the first time they've been one-on-one for the title, because it has always been triple threat matches. Big shove by Oba. Shoulder block. Another shoulder block. Trick is really good. Both of these guys are great. As long as they don't get booked stupidly on the main roster, both these guys are going to do a lot. Abyss leading the TNA. Boy, that would be violent, dude. Black hole slams for everybody. Man, big chop from Oba sends Trick down to the apron. Yeah, I mean, they are so heavy-handed with the foreshadowing that TNA talent are going to interfere. Oh, there's Santana. Santana's hopped the rail. He's taking off his jacket. Crowd chanting Barriqua. Okay, Santana is joining the commentary team. Okay. Who's going to be the first one thrown across the announce table? What's interesting is they're now battling around the ring, and every TNA talent is standing there like silently judging Trick Williams. It's actually kind of an interesting dynamic. Yeah. So I wish I knew who all the TNA talent were, but basically Trick and Oba are fighting their way around the barricade, around the perimeter of the ring. But every time they get near a TNA talent, they stand up and stare at Trick. And Trick is unnerved. Oba doesn't seem to have noticed or doesn't seem to care. He's more focused. So we'll see what it gets us for sure. Again, I'll be shocked if we have a clean winner in this match. Yeah, 10 minutes left in the broadcast. I feel so bad because they're constantly cutting away to TNA talent, and I don't know who half of them are. Oh, there's dueling TNA NXT chants in the crowd. That's interesting. By the way, better late than never. A&B Combos Wrestling Edition, my coalition family. Smash that like button. Smash it. Give it the axe. Give it the smasher. Give it demolition. Like and disaster. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what we get. A&B Combos, if you're in the chat, answer me this. Do you guys plan on watching NXT No Mercy on Saturday? Because I may be unavailable to live stream it. 2 count for Trick. Have I seen the Rhea Ripley look like a Smurf? Boy, she got a whole lot of the mist, didn't she? She got a whole mess of that mist last night. Yeah, she looked rough. That was some brutality right there. She looked brutal. Crazy stuff. Eric Young looking like Tommaso Ciampa's uncle who chops wood in the wintertime. Yeah, Moose is here too. It's interesting Eric Young would be here the week after NXT Homecoming because Homeboy had Sanity, and that was something else. Okay, good to know, A&B. All right. I may see what the options are that are available for me. Steve Macklin. I hear that name and I just think of Burt Macklin, FBI. Cardona's here. Cardona's here? That woke up the crowd. Finally, WWE answers phone calls. Sorry. It's kind of a Kevin Owens joke. Big slam from Oba Femi, the ruler. That's a good question, George. I don't know what Alex's plans are for No Mercy. Oh, Cedric Alexander is here too. Spend some time with Captain Kirk. Tulsi. That's a deep cut, dog. Deep cut. All right. Only a 2 count for Oba. Cedric Alexander, the only holdout from the Hurt Business. That's right. Mr. Anderson was here. Was back in TNA. Leapfrog from Trick. Spin and kick from Trick. Oh, big kick. Another kick. Man, 3 spinning kicks from Trick. Lays out, but only gets 2. Man, oh man. They keep cutting back to Eric Young. There's Cardona. Oba going for a choke slam. Trick backflips out of it, and then he takes a right hand. Big kick from Trick. Going for another kick. Nope. Oh, he just launched Trick Williams. That's a sig move, by the way, his signature move in 2K. I'd be using Oba a lot in 2K in universe mode. Pop up, power bomb. No, Hurricane Rana. Roll up. Only 2. Oba is a strong, strong man. Yes, indeed. Oh, trick shot. Trick shot in the middle of the ring. Only 2. Oba kicks out. We got to be winding down here, y'all. Man. Trick keeps getting closer. He's got to be getting tired, though. Dueling chants for Trick and Oba. Nope. Fall from grace. Pop-up power bomb. Oh! 2.99. I thought they were going to do it just for a second there. It was such a huge power bomb. Trick got up there for that. Whew. Fight forever chance. I kind of wish they had title cards at the bottom of the screen every time they showed a TNA wrestler, because I'll know who half these dudes are. Oh, there's Peyton Royce, or what are Cassie Lee is her name now. I would love it if Oba won too, Marcus. I mean, if we had to have a winner, I would be there for it. Man, big jump. Oh, all right. They're both out, and okay. Here we go. They're both in front of the announce table. Let's see if somebody gets thrown into Mike Santana. Let's see if it's about to go down, y'all. All right. Oh, Oba thrown into the steps. Trick talking his junk. Now Trick sees. Now he sees Santana. Now he's talking trash to Santana. Here we go. Oh, he just smacked him. There it is. And Santana retaliates, and now all of TNA coming in to jump on Trick Williams. But here comes NXT now. We're getting a full-on fight now. Hank and Tank came out fast. So did Javon. Are they going to go to black like this? Ricky Saints is out here just walking ever so smooth, and he's looking at the NXT title. Nobody messing with him. Where's Oba, though? Oh, there's a hand. Oba says, that don't belong to you. Get your hand off that. And Oba takes his title back. Oba's not involved in this fight, and Ricky is not involved in this fight. But everybody else is just throwing hands. Okay. Listen. Who was it earlier? Was it Anthony? Was it Anthony who said, in November, could we get the return of NXT TakeOver and have it be have that be just amazing? Ron Will says someone donated $4,000 in Alex's stream before, and I'm like, $5,000, man, it would have to be my retirement super chat. Shoot, that is insane. I can pay my rent. Shoot, anybody ever wants to do that for me, go for it, man. I don't know if I can give you that much quality content. Shoot. Anyway, sorry, that just shook my brain up for a second. Yeah, man. Hot ending. Again, tonight has been a good lesson in predictable does not mean bad. We had a 6-man tag. It was a no contest. Well, actually, technically, no, it wasn't a no contest. Oba Femi won by disqualification. No, Trick won by disqualification because Mike Santana attacked him. Granted, Trick slapped him first, but then he goaded Santana into attacking him. Trick wins by DQ, but no titles change hands. Anyway, yeah, predictability, not a bad thing. The 6-man tag was good. Great announcement of the Weapons Cage match coming up this weekend as well. So listen, y'all, if you got Peacock, that is the time to check it out for No Mercy this weekend. Just keep your eyes tuned to the channel. I will post a stream link if I decide to do it. That is insane, Ronwell. It's just absolutely insane. Somebody's check came in that day, dude. That is unreal. Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna get Oba Saints versus Oba Saints. Ha! Ricky Saints versus Oba Femi. You know what? While we're here, let's just go down the card real quick because I don't think I'm gonna be able to do a predictions um, show. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a quick rundown and some quick predictions for the 6 matches we are getting at No Mercy. So let's start at the bottom. Javon Evans versus Josh Briggs. That's so hard to call, right? Because I always want to pick Javon Evans because I think he's constantly just on the cusp of being a champion in NXT. But man, he keeps going up against people and coming back down and going up and coming back down. So I'm going to pick Josh Briggs this time. It seems like they're really invested in making him a monster. So I'm going to pick Josh Briggs. The weaponized steel cage match, Blake Monroe versus Jordan Grace. So Blake already won the one-on-one contest against Jordan Grace. And this time we've got weaponized weapons and a steel cage. I think this match is going to be ugly, which means it's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of hatred. They've been building the hatred in here. I think Jordan Grace gets her revenge on that match, and I think Jordan takes that one. And hopefully they both can move on because I've got thoughts by the end of this prediction. Next match, singles match for the NXT North American Championship, Ethan Page versus Tavion Heights. Ethan Page. Ethan Page is on a roll right now, man, and I just don't buy Tavion Heights yet as North American champion. And also, Tavion Heights got one over on Ethan Page tonight, so I think Ethan's going to win at the PLE. Sol Ruca defends the speed title against Lainey Reid. That is an interesting that's an interesting matchup there because Sol Ruca seems like the easy pick there, but they have been, and even though Shayna talked to Zaruka on Homecoming and said, hey guys, get over yourselves, make up, be friends, whatever. And they've been cool since then. Will they stay friends forever? And do they want to keep Sol Ruca with 2 belts forever either? I feel like Sol Ruca is bigger than the speed title at this point. I think Lainey Reid might pull off an upset. I don't know if that means a heel turn for anybody or just miscommunication or whatever, but I think Lainey Reid somehow pulls off an upset for that match. Then we've got JC Jane versus Lola Vice for the NXT Women's Championship. I think it is Lola's time. I think Lola is going to be our next NXT Women's Champion because I think Lola Vice may end up feuding with Blake Monroe after this because I think they're going to want Blake to eventually be the next Women's Champion. So Blake versus JC doesn't really sell, but I think Blake versus Lola would. And so I think Lola is going to get the job done. It's going to be a great, heartwarming moment. There's a chance that might main event the show. We'll see. I don't know. And then, of course, Oba Femi versus Ricky Saints, singles match for the NXT title. I have learned my lesson from picking against Oba Femi. I will never pick against Oba Femi again until he loses. I just don't. And I do think Ricky could be the next champion. I just don't know that it's this weekend. Although I'll say this, if like Roman wasn't available or Punk wasn't available or somebody else wasn't available for War Games, just imagine if Oba lost that title and was like a surprise 5th team member for War Games. That would be absolutely nutty. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's just a what if from me to you. But no, I think Oba retains. So going down the list, I'm going with Josh Briggs, going with Jordan Grace, going with Ethan Page, going with Lainey Reid to be the new speed champion, going with Lola Vice to be the new women's champion, and Oba Femi to retain and keep the NXT championship for another defense. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me for another night of NXT. Appreciate your time, your patience, your respect, and your friendship and your community, because doing this together makes watching wrestling fun, and I couldn't do it without you guys. So I appreciate y'all being here. Don't forget to like that video, subscribe to the channel. I hope you guys have an awesome week. Take care of each other. Take time to take care of yourself as well. And you know what, man? Don't forget to be a mark. We say this every week. Being a mark just means you believe, and believing makes wrestling better. So don't forget to believe, man, or else what are we doing with this wonderful sport and entertainment? Have a great night, everybody. I will see you guys next time. Thanks for joining. See you again soon.